So we're currently at the Dual Park at the back of Niddry in Edinburgh. So what it really shows us is a great opportunity to enhance the biodiversity. So currently there's a total monoculture of grass, just amenity grassland that will be mowed twice weekly by the council. But what we do have is an opportunity here with this wide open spaces to increase biodiversity through things such as wildflower planting, for tree planting that could link into larger projects like Edinburgh Million Tree City, and there is still enough room that would not negatively impact any of the housing and such like behind. Yeah, it's a really well used commuter route through here with people flying up and down from bicycles. So what we need to be able to do is to move our enhancements slightly further away to keep the access running up and down, and then improve the biodiversity. So a site like this would give us opportunities to expose the trainees to a range of different tasks. So we could do everything here from wildflower creation, wildflower meadow creation, to wildflower management. We could train them on traditional conservation work, so we could do something like a scything workshop, but we could also do something like get them trained up for their Lantra accredited certification in brush cutters and strimmers, so that they can do a lot of different management type tasks. It gives us chances to look at tree planting and then the maintenance and aftercare that would go alongside that.
So what if we did those move in?
So it would make a massive difference in terms of pollinators, which then has a knock-on effect on bird life and such like. Because this is a kind of urban green corridor, we're also talking about species that will be travelling up and down it, like foxes and things like that as well. So I think that it could make a huge positive impact with a fairly small intervention, really.
Some of them are, but
No, the reason that we're here is because Niddry falls into the top of the SMID index, the Scottish Index of Multiple Deprivation, and that what we want to ensure is that areas of deprivation have equality in terms of access to quality green space, to biodiversity, and also the health and well-being opportunities that go alongside those things. I think it is quite a complicated question, but I think the big thing about it is exposure, and it's exposure to working outside, it's exposure to making environmental improvements, it's exposure to people who are giving people a bit of education on that front, so that they can see the impact that they're having on a daily basis, whether that's the positive impact of the work that they're undertaking or the negative impact of dropping a piece of litter or anything else. I mean, this could be, this has got potential to engage a whole community in it. So what we would want to do with something like this is do a bit of consultation ahead of time anyway, talk to people about what they would like to see and the benefits of what we would be proposing. But yeah, sure, there's definitely also scope to do a family day or an open volunteering session, these kind of things to bring people more in and get involved with the works, definitely. I know there's also a community garden right on the John Muir Way further along that would benefit from extra help as well, that has a whole different setup of orchards and beehives and all sorts as well. So that could also link into the community projects locally.
Yeah. So we've, in the City of Edinburgh Council, we work with a variety of age groups. We work with people who are just out of school, who have got a lot of barriers. We work with older people who maybe have been made redundant. So we work with a range of people. I think in recent years, certainly with a lot of youngsters, they've not been out as much, with COVID. So it's potentially more challenging for them to actually move into training courses and actual employment as well. So I can see this, really helping people just to get involved in doing stuff with other people, doing teamwork, learning about communicating with each other, learning how to deal with conflict, learning how to learn new skills, to take ownership for what they're doing, So I think, this would certainly help people when they are going for interviews. It would give them more confidence because they have been around other people. It would give them examples that they can actually talk about at the interviews, which is going to help them move on. And also when they do move into a job, they'll find that a lot of the skills they have learned doing this course is going to help working life for them. It's going to make it a lot easier, again, in terms of the teamwork, the problem solving, just being around new people, but also they'll have more self-belief because they've actually achieved something and they've also learned new skills.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think because it's a job and there's an actual wage attached to it, I think people will realise they have to take it potentially more seriously. Not that people don't take training courses seriously, but there'll be terms and conditions. You get a job, you have to do certain things, you have to arrive at a certain time, you have to commit to a certain number of hours. So I do feel that people will learn more about these skills, and potentially it could be better for the reason that they're getting a wage, and it'll get them used to all the kind of terms and conditions that may be in other organisations when they do move on, and they'll be better prepared because of that.
That's good. Edinburgh.
I think it's varied. I think for some people who potentially say they had anxiety issues, during COVID, it might have been fine for them. They were actually okay. They actually didn't mind staying indoors, for example. But I also think that it's had a negative effect on people. They're not used to socialising, not used to being out in nature, not used to being around other people. So it has certainly had that effect. So just even being outside and being away from your phone, and it's a lot of times with people moving into work, the young people tend to find it difficult to make that detachment from their phone, but just being out in nature, getting used to not having the mobile phone all the time, getting used to speaking to people, experiencing the calming effect that nature has for people, I think is going to be a really huge plus, and this project's going to help people. Certainly, I mean, our team, our aim is to help people move into employment. It's not necessarily just to get people into employment within the City of Edinburgh Council. So from the City of Edinburgh Council's point of view, we want our citizens to be happy. We want them, to have a purposeful life. So whether or not they move into a job or training course after it, then wherever they go, we feel that it's going to be better, and it's going to lead to a better city with happier people.
And those young people?
There are a lot of support mechanisms for young people, various organisations that are supporting people. There are young people who do drop off the radar, and are difficult to track, so to speak, or difficult to find out what they're doing. So that is a danger. If there's not enough programmes like this, there are people who potentially could drop off the radar, and we're not sure what these people are doing. Yeah. I think that's the purpose of the council, isn't it? Is to serve their citizens. That's.
Well, they sort the buses out, make sure the roads are okay.
Yep.
And all of that stuff.
Yeah. But happy people, happy city. It's got to be good, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Better watch. I'm not trying to speak for the council. That's like an Andrew Kerr comment, but yeah. But I mean that's. Yeah. That's what we're all about.
And is that?
Yeah, I mean we work with a lot of young people who have said they've not had a good experience at school, and just different ways of learning, and different ways of, gaining new skills, and it doesn't always have to be outdoors, but there's a lot of young people who, when they get outdoors, it's got a huge benefit for them. But not everybody's had a great experience at school. There's different ways that people can learn. Yeah. So my knowledge of working outdoors with people, I've got experience of working with people in the south of the city, where we took a group of young people who hadn't had good experiences at school, hadn't got qualifications. They came in our what was then called our activity agreement programme, where they basically did between 3 and 16 hours a week of either community work or learning. And the place where they were based, they had a walled community garden, so a lot of their time was spent outdoors and just developing this community space, which, as the name suggests, was used by the community. So there was a big emphasis then being outside, doing a bit of landscaping, a bit of kind of planting things, a bit of kind of manual labour, etc. And that really worked. It was really good for the young people.